Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. We are going to be talking all about how to build your business around a signature program. And I wanted to talk about this for two reasons. One, because we just released our newest Done For You program, which is a high fat, low carb 12-week program. And two, because I believe that most people have bought Done For You programs. They're sitting on their desktop and they're not exactly sure how to build their business around this single offering. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I have some notes. I also have for you a graphic that I think is going to be really helpful. That is going to be really helpful in understanding the business model and how all of the pieces really fit together. So I hope that you'll stay on this live stream and interact and ask questions. But before we go any deeper, for those of you watching live, please just let me know that you can hear me okay, that my sound is okay. Either you can throw out some emojis or you could just let me know in the comments. That would be awesome. And then that way I can make sure that I'm not, in fact, talking to myself, because that always sucks when you end up doing, a 40-minute presentation or so and you're talking to yourself. And also, while we're waiting for a bunch more people to join us, for those of you watching live, and even for those of you on the replay, why don't you tell me in the comments, just yes or no, have you ever purchased a Done For You program before? And are you doing anything with it? So have you ever purchased a Done For You program before? And are you actually doing anything with it in your business? So I'd love to know if you have, and if you're doing something with it, what are you doing? And that way I know sort of the range of the people that I'm talking to today. So Nashua says no. Everybody's telling me that the sound is good. Amazing. The sound is great. Good. It's always nice when you have good sound. So Kimberly says, yes, just did a 14-day detox. That was Done For You. Awesome. Love it. I love when people use the content that they've purchased. And I know a lot of people have, purchased multiple Done For You programs, and that's fine. But what I wanted to really talk about today was give you a structure so that you could purchase a Done For You program. Perhaps you want to purchase the high fat, low carb one that we just released today. Or you might have one sitting on your desktop. And I want to give you a structure so that you know what areas of your business you need to build out, and also how you can use a signature program, a Done For You program, as your main offering and build your business around that. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today. So Cheryl says, yes, finally. Kimberly's like, yep, it works for me since you work full time. Yeah, Done For You programs, the reason that we create them, there's a couple reasons actually. There's a couple reasons why we create them. The first one, at least for me, and I can't speak for any of my friends and colleagues that create Done For You programs, but the first reason that we create Done For You programs is because I know that most people are not taught the methodology or the structure of how to take what they've learned in school and turn it into a step-by-step program that is scalable online. And there is a large, significant difference between working with someone in a clinical setting, in an office, one-to-one, and then being able to take that same information and turning it into a program that clients will go through and comply with, where you are not involved in that at all. So there is a huge transition that has to happen when you go from offline one-to-one to online group and even online one-to-one. You have to think about all of the questions in advance and answer them in the program. The content needs to be delivered differently than you would if you were working one-to-one with clients. And so I know that, especially for those people that are in their first year or two, I would even say, but that first year specifically, that's not something that they're comfortable doing, that they even know how to do. And so that's really the reason that we create these done for you programs, is because we have expertise. I have expertise. My team now has expertise. We've done so many, and we've worked with hundreds of health practitioners to be able to help them develop their own, let's say, signature programs. But we have expertise in being able to take content and ensure that it's delivered in a way, that it's taught in a way that is good for people taking it online, right? The other reason that we create done for you programs is because I also know that too many people spend too much time creating what is awesome programs, what are awesome programs. However, they're too educational. They're too teaching in nature, and there's not enough actionable steps. There's no actual protocol to follow. It's very educational in nature, and therefore it overwhelms the clients, and it doesn't really give them, the proper to-do steps, and then they don't get the results that they need, and word of mouth doesn't spread because they didn't get the results. And it's not your fault. It's just you're not taught in a way that is conducive to running an online program, right? And so it kind of backfires on you, and I don't want that. And then the last sort of bigger reason why we create done for you programs is really because we know that people work full time. We know that starting up a health and wellness business, it does take time. And I know that you could spend 6 months putting together the, let's say, high fat, low carb program that we're now offering for sale, or you could invest in the one that we have and get it up and running in the next 2 weeks and get the feedback from your clients, modify it, make it your own, and grow your business just that much faster. So those are some of the reasons that we create done for you programs. We find that for those people that take the time to actually implement them, they are very successful. I built my entire business, my entire nutrition practice off of one 12-week offering. And that's really all I did. I used it for one-to-ones. I used it for a 6-week program. I used it for a 10-week program. I used it for a 12-week program. And I just kept modifying the content based off of what I needed it for. And it worked really, really well. Kimberly saying, I'm in development of a HIPAA risk analysis course. Cool. That's awesome. So what I wanted to share with you today, hopefully will give you some insight into how to build your business around a single offering. So whether it's a done for you program, a signature program, even like direct sales, like doTERRA or Juice Plus or whatever it is, I wanted to give you some insight into how to really structure everything in your business around this singular offering so that you can grow and so that you have focus and so that you understand how your business actually functions. So what I'm going to do right now, Misha's asking, is this only for nutrition? No, you can use the high fat, low carb program for personal trainers, for your naturopathic clients. Like, you obviously have to have a scope of practice that includes being able to talk about nutrition. But the majority of what we've put together in this program as well is fine for health coaches. It's fine for trainers. It's fine for naturopaths. It's fine for chiros. So, this signature program that the offering that we've put together is fine for those people. But in general, if you're asking if this is only for nutrition, no. I mean, a business is a business is a business. And so in order for the business to have revenue, you have to have offerings. You have to have revenue streams. And each program, whether it's one-to-one service packages, essential oils, juice plus, it doesn't matter. Each SKU, let's say, right? Each revenue stream is what your business makes money off of. And so if you're not structuring your entire business, your brand, your marketing content, your lead gen around bringing people into your world so that you can test basically if they're a right fit for that revenue stream, what is your business then, right? So it doesn't really matter if your focus is on training or yoga or meditation or nutrition or functional movement or essential oils or detoxification. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm going to show you right now is a model. It's a framework. So say to yourself, okay, how can I use this framework to build my business around these offerings? Because that's really the whole point, right? Is to serve clients, make money, and do good in the world and have impact, right? And so we have to structure our business in that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I am going to share my screen. Just give me 1 sec. And then we're going to test to see if you can see the graphic. So if you can let me know if you can see this graphic, you should be able to. I wonder if, I just want to see for a second how this is going to work here, because then I can't. Okay, so that's how it works. Cool. Okay. So I have to stay on the graphic. And maybe what I'm going to do is open that up over here. Okay, now I can see. See, sometimes you just have to fiddle with the tech. So now I can see kind of the comments. You can totally see it. Okay, I'm going to just minimize this for just a second. Perfect. Okay, so this is the graphic. You can take a screenshot of it if you want to. This is the graphic that basically is the entire health expert business model. And the goal of me walking you through this right now is so that you understand how to structure your business around your offerings, whether they're yoga, meditation, stress, physical products, psychotherapy, naturopathic medicine, personal training, functional movement, boot camps, it doesn't matter, right? My goal for you is every time I do a training is for you to understand more and more and more your business model and the different components that go into your business so that you can actually frame out what you need to do around your offerings. And if it just so happens that you invest in one of the done for you offerings that we offer, amazing. But either way, this is critical for you to understand. So I can't see the comments right now. I'll come back to them. I'm just going to spend probably about 10 minutes on this, and then we can do some Q&A around it. So this is the health expert business model. In order for you to grow a quality email list and a quality social media following and a quality Facebook group of ideal clients, we need to reverse engineer that, right? And so we need to start at the beginning and say, okay, what is the niche and who is my ideal client from the perspective of their demographics, their psychographics, so meaning the psychology, and also what is the problem that my entire business is solving, right? What is the problem that my entire business is solving? And then you can go through the steps, which I'll go through, but I want to just make the connection here. What is the what is the big problem that your business is solving that is then tied to the individual problem that your program is solving? So let's do an example. Let's say, I'm going to do 2 examples. Let's say that you want a niche in digestion, okay? And your ideal client is someone who has leaky gut. Fine. But the program that you're creating, right, doesn't necessarily, well, the underlying solution is healing the gut. But if you can break it down to say, okay, what is the singular problem that this one program is solving? Maybe you're starting with bloating and bowel movements, right? Because that is a problem that they're able to identify that they have. And then the underlying bigger problem with your business, all of your content, all of your offerings, all of your webinars, all of your podcast interviews, everything is about teaching them to define and identify the fact that they even have leaky gut and then what to do to fix it, right? So your big problem is leaky gut. The individual program might not be leaky gut because that's a big topic. So you might break it down into like 2 or 3 offerings, right? That makes sense to your clients based on where they're at. So you might have like the fundamentals of, bloating and bowel movements. And then you might have a longer protocol that really dives into the specifics and the personalization around healing leaky gut. But your business is set up to really solve this big problem. You can't do that in just one program, right? It's too much. It's too big. Another example would be, let's say if we're doing, let's say you're a yoga and meditation teacher, but your business is set up to solve the problem of stress, right? So you're a yoga and meditation teacher and you want to help people reduce their stress levels, and really just like reclaim happiness, reclaim energy and all of that stuff, right? So that's the problem that your business solves, is stress. So you can't solve stress in one 6-week program because that's not possible, right? So then when you think about that and you break it down and you're like, okay, what offerings can I create or buy and modify in order to solve this problem, right? So maybe it's an introduction to yoga and meditation course. And then maybe it's like a deeper mindfulness and meditation course, right? And then maybe it's like a retreat. And that's it. And that could be your entire business, right? And all of your content, your branding, everything that you talk about is geared around this initial problem of using yoga techniques and meditation to solve stress for people, right? And that really is how you build your business around these offerings. And so in order to know what your offerings are, you really need to know what the problem is that you're solving in your business. And that's your niche, basically. The problem that you solve is your niche. So your niche is stress, and you're solving the problem by teaching yoga and meditation techniques because you are a yoga and meditation teacher, right? And your entire business is geared around the topic of stress reduction, right? Your ideal client, their demographics, their psychographics are defined by solving this particular problem of stress using yoga and meditation, right? And so once you're able to define that and have deep clarity around your niche and your ideal client, your niche being the problem that you solve, right? And your ideal client, the singular type of one person who is stressed or has leaky gut and needs these tools and wants to invest in these strategies in order to resolve that problem. So that when you create your offerings, you're starting your offerings where your client is and you're thinking about their entire transformational journey, them going from A to Z. They're not going to go from A to Z in one 6-week program, right? Or a 30-day program or whatever that is. They might go from A to Z in a 12-week program, depending on, like how severe the problem is, but probably not even, right? And so when you build your business around solving this problem, you're then able to brainstorm all of the different opportunities that you can create in order to attract them, educate them, and then sell them into transformation or invite them into transformation. So we start at the top and we're like, okay, what's the problem that my business is solving? What's the big problem that my business is solving? So if you take a look at my business, the big problem that my business solves is that we work with health and wellness practitioners who are basically straight out of their professional education, and we help them to establish and grow money-making businesses. The problem that I'm solving is that they don't know how to do that. Right? And so every piece of content that we create, from mindset to trainings to community, is set up to get them to take action into their business, right? Then once you understand your problem that you're solving, the niche that you're working in, you can go and then craft this expert persona, this brand around who you are, who you help, what you do, and why people should work with you. Right? So this entire brand, which is made up of you as a personal brand, but also all of your content, right? So your content, the purpose of having what we call free edutaining content, is to attract the right kind of person, is to attract that ideal client where they read the blog post, they watch the Facebook Live, they see you at a trade show, they see one of your ads, and they're like, I have that problem. That is me. What is my next step? And the next step is to then send them to your freebie lead magnet so that you can capture their contact information at that point at which they're already giving you permission to start marketing to them because they've given you their email address, right? And they've raised their hand and they've based on your lead magnet, which again goes back to solving a particular problem that they have, right? Like bloating or stress-related weight gain or fatigue due to stress, right? You're solving that problem for them in their lead magnet so that you're basically saying, hey, do you have this problem? If you do, put your email in here and you're going to get something that's going to help you. And that lets you know that they're pre-qualified, that they most likely have the problem that you solve with one of your offerings because they've been, you've attracted them by the words that you're using, by the promise of giving them, a solution in the lead magnet. And they've said to you, hey, I need this solution. Therefore, I obviously have this problem that I want solved, right? And so that is the point of your free content. So everything that you put together in your business has to speak to the main key components, whether they're positive, negative, mindset, symptoms, tips, hacks, whatever it is, that are all structured around this problem that you solve in your business. And then once they give you their email address, they are now in your world. They are now in your community. And it's your job to educate them, to nurture them, to get them to like you, right? And you do that by sending them consistent emails, very specific emails that help to explain who you are, right? What you do, who you work with, and also the content connects their symptoms, the way that they feel, their psychology, right? The thoughts that are going in their head with the actual problem that they have. Too many of us have worked with clients where the clients have been like, why hasn't anyone told me that before? It's that. That's the content that's going to get them to trust you. It's the explanation of, hey, here's what's really going on. Here's what's really happening when you have anxiety, or you having a stress-related craving, or you can't sleep, or you're having racing thoughts, or you're having bloating or constipation or diarrhea or whatever it is, or why you can't, functionally move, or whatever the case may be. But you want to answer this, you want to basically explain to them, why hasn't anyone told me this before? And you're connecting and you're educating them. You're letting them know what's really going on. And this is the difference between what we do as alternative health practitioners and the allopathic medical system. Because the allopathic medical system just hands them a Band-Aid and doesn't explain why or what's really going on in their bodies. And they don't look at the mind-body connection. They don't look at all of the other factors, environmental, toxins, this, that, and the other thing. They're not looking at that, but we are. And that's what sets us apart. And so in your free content, you're explaining to them what's really going on. You're making the connections for them so that they view you as the expert. And this is something that can be done regardless of whether you've worked with a client or not. We all, have access to this type of education in your own sort of discipline, right? And you use it based on the discipline that you're in. And so the content that you're creating is really is structured only around solving the problem from a mindset perspective, from an education perspective, and from an actionable perspective. You don't talk about anything else. You repeat yourself over and over and over again. You don't talk about anything else, right? And so as you're doing that, you're sort of moving people down this imaginary funnel with your education, with your videos, with your live streams. You're showing up over and over and over again. And then, then at this point, they're positioned well, they're primed, they're ready to say, okay, totally, I have this problem. I understand what's going on. Now, how the heck do I solve it? How the heck do I make this problem go away? Well, wouldn't you know, you have a 6 or an 8 or a 12-week or whatever it is solution that will take them by the hand and walk them through how to actually solve this problem. And that is your signature offering. That is your offering. So that every time you create a new blog post, you're starting with people at the top of the funnel and you're attracting them, right? So it's not a mismatch that by the time they get down to the offering, they're not like, what's leaky gut? What? I'm stressed? What? It's very clear to them. They already know. They already understand what's going on. Now they're like, all right, give me the solution. Where do I go? Where do I pay? Like, what do I do? I want this now. Right? And that's how you build your business, by putting the same type of ideal clients through this model and inviting them into your program over and over and over again. Because even though people are on your email list, like, we don't know when they're going to be ready to work with us. And so it's just repetition. It's not creating anything new. It's staying to the course with this one offering, right? This one offering that you continuously create free content to attract all of the people that have that problem, bring them into your world, whittle them down the funnel, educate them, nurture them, prime them, position them, so that when you go and present the opportunity to them, when you go and present the solution to them, they're like, yes, yes, no questions, no objections. Yes, I want it. Let's go. Right? And that's your model. That's it. And yes, it's going to feel like you're repeating yourself over and over and over again, because you are. Because there's new people always coming into your world. And because even the people who are in your world need to hear it multiple times in order for it to really sink in. They need to hear it in different ways, through different platforms. They need to see video. They need to read blogs. They need to engage with you, right? It's repetition. And so this is how you focus. And so this is why having a done for you program makes it easier and gives you sort of the speed of implementation, because you don't have to spend 3 months, 6 months creating the program. You get to do everything that's basically on top of this bottom box, right? That is where you spend your time, is constantly creating content touching upon a singular area of this problem, so that you can attract the ideal clients into your world, where they can be like, yep, they're reading a blog post about, bloating or stomach pain or whatever it is, right? Or the fact that they can't lose weight, or the fact that they have cravings, whatever it is. That's the model, right? It's this singular problem that your business as a whole solves, and then you use your offerings to be able to solve the problem based on where the clients are at in their journey, right? Based on the fact that they're like complete and utter newbies, or if they need to do a deeper dive with you. And you build those offerings out over time, but they're all related to where the clients are in their journey. And they all solve the big problem of your business. So I hope that that makes sense to you. I really wanted to be able to sort of give you a visual of how to think about your business and how to break it down. I'm going to go look at the comments now and just make sure that if there's any questions, there doesn't seem to be any questions, but if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And like I said, it was really important to me to be able to share this with you because we did just launch the high fat, low carb program. We've been getting asked for a while to create something that, oops, I'm going to stop sharing, to create something that works with clients who not only just want to lose weight, but also specific around blood sugar regulation, specific around hormonal balancing. So in all areas, menopausal, perimenopausal. So this high fat, low carb program isn't just a weight loss program. It's a program that you can take, not even mention the words weight loss, and really position it to solve the problem that your business solves. It's a methodology. It's a way of eating. It's a way of educating people. And so if your business solves the menopausal problem, then you can use this signature program or this offering and position it as a 12-week program to really solve the problem of menopausal weight gain, menopausal hot flashes, menopausal imbalances using this nutrition approach as an example. So let me just go and check the... Okay, so Misha's asking, what if the problem you plan to solve involves more than one type of modality, i.e. your niche is stress and use mindfulness, meditation, nutrition, and remedial exercise and essential oils to help them? As long as you scale it in a way that you can handle and measure their progress, would that be suitable or too much? So again, think about it from the perspective of the client, right? Most of us can't do more than one thing at a time. So if you are asking your ideal clients to use these essential oils, change their eating habits, do meditation, do mindfulness techniques over a 6-week period of time, that's a lot, right? That's a lot of stuff, of actions that you're asking them to do. And so and again, I haven't seen your program. I don't know how it's laid out. I would just caution you to think about your clients over their journey. So maybe an introductory program is something where you're using oils and, let's say, meditation, right? And you can obviously give them some tips about nutrition, but I caution you just to not add in everything in the kitchen sink, because that's not actually helpful for people. It just will serve to overwhelm them, and then they won't take any action at all. So that's my feedback around that. So I hope this explanation was helpful. I hope that it gives you clarity on how to actually structure your business around your offerings, the type of content to create within your business. And if you have any questions, if you're watching in the replay and you have any questions, you can type them into the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, like I said, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for hanging out for about 40 minutes. And I'll be back again soon with some more training for you. And hope you have a good day. Bye, everybody.